A local woman is trying to raise vaccination rates in southwest Missouri as new cases continue to climb.
President Biden meets with local leaders over a growing wave of gun violence. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have details coming up.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Albee. An investigation into a shots fired report in Vernon County, Missouri leads to the arrest of a suspect as well as the seizure of multiple guns and meth. The suspect is 55-year-old Daniel Sands of El Dorado Springs, Missouri. He's accused of shooting at a rural Vernon County home on Thursday. No one was hurt in the shooting. During the investigation, the sheriff's office says they searched Sands' home where they recovered meth and multiple guns. County prosecutor has charged Sands with assault, 2 counts of armed criminal action, and other drug and weapon-related crimes. 2 people are hospitalized with serious injuries after they hit a deer while riding a motorcycle. Happened at around 7:45 last night, 3 miles north of Reeds on Gum Road. 29-year-old Isaac Freeland of Reeds and 26-year-old Taylor Bass of Reeds were both ejected from the motorcycle after they hit a deer in the road. Both were transported to the hospital with serious injuries. Montgomery County Sheriff's Office has released the identity of the man who drowned at Elk City Lake on Friday. Officials say the man was 47-year-old Craig Gilson. Emergency crews on Friday responded to calls about a man yelling for help in the swimming area of the lake, but he did not resurface. Gilson was pronounced dead at the scene. Doug Heddy joined us now. Kind of a mild day today, not too hot.
No, it was actually a pretty good day. The past couple days we've had nice temperatures after the cold front that rolled through Saturday night with showers and thunderstorms. 77, that was our high today. That was it. Our normal high is 90, so 13 degrees below where we should be topping out for this time of the year, and it looks pretty good. We've had some showers, some thunderstorms rotating mainly east of us across central and eastern parts of Missouri. We look fine. We're not going to see anything tonight. We look pretty calm. Temperatures right now are great. Most of us 70 to about 72 degrees. Of course, it's July. We're going to heat back up. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
Doug Heddy, thank you. COVID-19 cases are surging in the state of Missouri, and local hospitals are feeling the effects. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky spoke with disease experts at both Freeman and Mercy hospitals to see what doctors are facing, as well as a local woman who's working to get more people vaccinated.
Joplin hospitalizations are reaching levels seen before vaccines were even available, with more patients in critical care than before.
We have more patients on ventilators at this time than we previously did.
So what's changed, and why are we seeing this surge?
There's probably 2 predominant reasons. Number one, it's the Delta variant, and it's more contagious. So with that one being the one that is circulating, that increases our numbers. The other unfortunate reason is that we do not have a high percentage of our population vaccinated.
Currently, Mercy is seeing 58 COVID patients. Over at Freeman Health Systems, they're seeing about the same, with 50 COVID patients, including their Neosho Hospital.
Our situation here at Freeman Health System is very reflective to what other hospitals are seeing statewide, as far as just seeing a pretty significant jump in our number of COVID inpatients.
With new COVID strains, health professionals are in a whole new ballpark.
You know, we have the presence of variant strains that are more contagious. They present with different symptoms, so symptoms that you maybe not necessarily would see as the classic COVID symptoms. They're presenting differently.
Which is why being vaccinated is the best way to stop the virus from spreading further.
To me, it's a no-brainer. You know, go get vaccinated.
One woman has been using social media to get the word out about vaccines after seeing cases rise in her community.
I've put my phone number out on Facebook for people to just call, and you know, I've transported a lot of people to go and get vaccinations. That's how important it is. And I think that every single person that is vaccinated, if you can do the same thing, put your number out there, let people contact you, friends and family, go with them, hold their hand, you know, whatever it takes.
To her, even if she can only change one mind, it's worth it. In Joplin, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
According to the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services COVID-19 dashboard, 42.7% of Joplin residents have been fully vaccinated. As U.S. officials work to increase vaccination rates across the country, Pfizer has come out to say they believe a third dose of their shot is going to be needed. Fox News correspondent David Lee Miller has more now from New York.
Pfizer making its case to U.S. health officials today that a booster shot will be needed for their COVID-19 vaccine. The meeting coming amid disputes between drug makers and U.S. officials about when and if Americans will need an additional dose of the vaccine.
But as the time moves forward from when you first got your vaccine, your protection goes down. And that's why people are beginning to think about booster shots and new strategies to vaccination.
Pfizer says the data from their booster study showed that people's antibody levels increased between 5 and 10-fold after a third dose. However, the CDC and FDA releasing a statement last week pushing back against Pfizer's assertion, saying they do not view booster shots as necessary at this time. Some say Pfizer is just trying to be prepared.
I don't think we want to be here in December with a new variant that seems to be evading our vaccine, and we don't have anything that's in the pipeline already to go.
The debate over booster shots coming as more Americans grow concerned over the highly transmissible Delta variant. With only about 48% of the U.S. population fully vaccinated, hospitalization numbers are rising in areas with low vaccination rates. But U.S. health officials are confident the current vaccines offer protection against this variant.
Please know, if you are not vaccinated, you remain susceptible, especially from the transmissible Delta variant, and are particularly at risk for severe illness and death.
Meanwhile, Israel became the first country to offer third doses of Pfizer's vaccine today for those with weakened immune systems. In New York, David Lee Miller, Fox News.
A White House meeting with the president and local leaders today focused on surging crime numbers across the country. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively is in D.C. now with details on what the federal government is doing to reverse the increase in gun violence.
The crime stats coming out of Chicago over the weekend are staggering. More than 40 people shot, 11 of them fatally, including a rapper who suffered 64 bullet wounds as he walked out of the county jail Saturday night.
One person murdered is one too many.
Shootings have risen 11% in Chicago this year compared to 2020. That's just one of several large cities seeing an increase. Shootings are up 41% in Atlanta, 38% in New York, a whopping 126% in Portland, 48% in LA, and 32% in Philadelphia. President Biden met with local leaders at the White House Monday, encouraging them to spend the $350 billion in the COVID relief plan earmarked for law enforcement.
Our strategy provides, including funding for law enforcement through the American Rescue Plan, for states, cities, and to be able to hire police and pay them overtime in order to advance community policing.
New York mayoral nominee Eric Adams is one of the local leaders who attended Monday's meeting.
It doesn't matter how many police officers you put on the streets. We can't continue to respond to symptoms. It's time to respond to the underlying causes of violence in our city.
But some Republicans say they don't think the White House meeting will change anything.
They will throw more and more money at social programs and less money where it needs to be, and that is incarcerating dangerous criminals.
Crime is one of the president's weak spots in recent polls. A Washington Post poll released this month shows that 48% of Americans disapprove of his handling of crime compared to 38% who approve. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Bradley Harold served in the U.S. Marines, joining in 2007. A native of Altamont, Kansas, Harold was stationed in Iraq, also Afghanistan. He was a platoon leader and mortar man, severely injured in Afghanistan. Harold earned a Purple Heart. We are proud to thank and salute Corporal Bradley Harold. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast, and a bit later, Webb City Little League softball earning a trip to state. Gonna have the details, of course, in sports.
Well, it turned out to be a very nice Monday for us today. We had a cold front that rolled through Saturday night. Temperatures great for us over the past couple days. And we've had scattered showers and thunderstorms over the weekend, but today, just a few random little showers, about a trace of an inch of rain for the month, just shy of 1 inch. For the year, we're over 30. Average is about 26, so we're doing pretty good so far. Temperatures in July, not bad either, even though it's been warm, it's been muggy. Majority of our days have been actually below where we should be for this time of the year. Temps right now, most of us are sitting 70 to about 72 degrees. Humidity, it hasn't been that bad. It's been a little bit lower. It's starting to creep back up a little bit, which we will see over the next couple days. Dew point's kind of sitting in that 65-ish range, so a little sticky out there, but still not too bad. Looks pretty good. 7th and Rangeline currently outside. We sit at 71. Winds are calm. Feels like 71. Relative humidity 66 or 84%, and our pressure is steady. Not much, though, is going on here. Any showers, any thunderstorms have been out across central and eastern parts of Missouri on the backside of this storm system, wrapping up, finally heading away from us. We get this northerly wind behind it, so that's what's ushered in some at least more pleasant air on top of us over the past couple days. But if we look west, there's not a lot going on. This is monsoonal moisture, but there's no big storm system, so we stay pretty quiet, at least for the next 2 days. And then we'll start to see some changes once again later on this week. All right, let's go through time. During the overnight hours tonight, we drop back, actually all the way down into lower 60s. Very comfortable. You could, if you wanted, you could even open up the windows just because the humidity is so low. We do start to warm things back up a bit for us tomorrow. I think most of us will go mid to upper 80s for highs. We'll start at 62, 82 by noon, high temp right around 88 as we head into the afternoon. Few random clouds for us tomorrow night, but in general, still looks pretty good as we head into Wednesday morning. And then Wednesday, partly to mostly sunny skies, but our temperatures pop back into the 90s for highs, so it gets kind of hot by the middle of the work week. Heat indices, the way it actually feels to your skin, up there tomorrow, lower 90s, but it goes up into the mid to upper 90s by the time we head into Wednesday as that humidity really starts to kick back in. All right, let's look down the road. Here's our next storm system. So by Thursday, we'll get a cold front that at least gets close to us or in the general vicinity of us, giving us chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms Thursday into Friday, and then again into the weekend, and really sticking around a good chunk of next week. These aren't like rainouts, but they're scattered showers and thunderstorms, which definitely are going to be in the forecast later this week into the weekend. 88 tomorrow, 92 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday, 90 on Friday. A little bit cooler by the second half of the weekend, but all in all, again, not too bad of a week.
Very comfortable conditions
Yeah.
and temperatures tonight, though.
Yeah, it's going to be great tonight.
It will be. All right, Doug Heddy, thank you so much. Coming up, dangerous conditions.
Triple-digit temperatures are fueling wildfires across the western U.S. I'm Christina Coleman in Los Angeles. I'll have the details coming up.
Temperatures are rising up and down the West Coast as another heat wave takes effect. The high temperatures and a record-breaking drought are fueling wildfires across the region. Fox News correspondent Christina Coleman has more.
Triple-digit temperatures are baking the western U.S. More than 18 million people were under heat alerts on Monday as the region experiences its third heat wave since the beginning of June. Meteorologists attribute the rise in temperature to a dome of high pressure that's impacting people from Oregon down through California.
That moment when you open the oven and that gust of heat hits you in the face. That is exactly what it feels like.
Over the weekend, Las Vegas hit a daily high of 117 degrees. In California's Death Valley, the mercury hit 130. California officials are asking residents to conserve energy amid the heat wave, but people say that's easier said than done.
What do we do? But ultimately, in 112, 113 heat, it's like we have to use the tools that we have, which unfortunately are an AC.
Oh, it drains you. I stay in the water most of the time.
The record-breaking temperatures are fueling wildfires across the West. In Oregon, the Boot Lake fire has burned more than 153,000 acres so far, and it's threatening to disrupt a major power grid between the Pacific Northwest and California. In California, the river fire exploded to 4,000 acres, forcing some to evacuate to nearby shelters.
People that are impacted can come here, have a safe place of respite, resources, dinner, snacks, water, and we'll also have health services on site too.
More than 74,000 acres have burned in California this year, twice as much as this time last year. In Los Angeles, Christina Coleman, Fox News.
Up next, protests in Cuba.
President Biden weighs in on the anti-government protests in Cuba. I'm Mallory Rivera in Washington with a reaction from lawmakers coming up.
French President Emmanuel Macron today ordered all French healthcare workers to get the COVID-19 vaccine by September 15th. In a televised address, Macron also mandated special COVID-19 passes for anyone who wants to go to a restaurant, shopping mall, or several other public places. To get a pass, people must be fully vaccinated, have a fresh negative virus test, or have proof they recently recovered from the virus. New reaction concerning the unprecedented protests in Cuba. The White House supports the demonstrations and is calling on the Cuban government to do more for its people. Republican lawmakers believe now is the time for action. Fox News correspondent Madeline Rivera reports from D.C.
As Cubans call for freedom and change, people around the world from Spain to Miami are showing their support.
It's important that we recognize what is happening in Cuba right now at this very moment. A spontaneous uprising that has never happened in the last 60 years.
Thousands are protesting against the country's communist regime as a slew of problems plague the island. The country's economic crisis has gotten worse. The coronavirus pandemic has led to a drop in tourism revenue. Severe blackouts and food shortages are also rampant.
One of these leaders said, look, they've taken away everything from us, including our fear. Now, once the Cuban people lose that fear of the government, then I believe it's the beginning of the end.
On Monday, President Biden emphasized U.S. support of the Cuban people, urging the country's leaders to listen to them.
The Cuban people demanding their freedom from an authoritarian regime.
The Cuban government blames the U.S. in part for the worsening situation, pointing to the sanctions against the country. But the White House says they are not at fault.
And the United States regularly authorizes the export of agricultural products, medicine, medical equipment, and humanitarian goods to Cuba. There's every indication that yesterday's protests were reactions of the people in Cuba to exhaustion of the governance of the leaders in the state.
The White House says while it will continue to assess how the U.S. can be directly helpful to the people of Cuba, it is too early to predict any policy change for the country. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Next, more people calling it official and sealing that love with a ring. I'm going to check out booming engagement ring sales. Seems the wedding industry is rebounding after the pandemic, specifically sales of engagement rings. Fine jewelers say they've seen huge spikes in demand and sales in April and May as more Americans became vaccinated throughout the U.S. Well, those rings, pretty nice, huh? As millions of Americans faced economic losses during the pandemic, reports say those who stayed employed were able to save money. Travel shutdowns and restaurant closures also allowed many to have more disposable income. All right, so after you get engaged, time for, before the wedding, time for what? The party. Seeing as more people are starting to spend some serious cash on their bachelor and bachelorette parties, as well as on their wedding, right there. A survey conducted by Wedding Wire says those who attended bachelor and bachelorette parties are celebrating longer than they did in 2019, with 3 days of partying compared to 2 days. Wedding Wire also says more men are going to live shows like concerts and comedy hours and brunches, while women are celebrating with winery or brewery tours, karaoke, brunches, bar hopping, and party bus rides. Party on, right? Party on. 30 more minutes, news, weather, and sports coming away. Going to hear about a warning from the Better Business Bureau about debt-related scams against college graduates. Also, some kids learning about robotics. Pretty cool during special classes over at Pitt State. Better Business Bureau is warning recent college graduates to watch out for debt-related scams. The BBB says it received more than 400 reports of debt relief and credit repair scams in North America in 2020. Those scams cost consumers an average of $800. Officials say a common tactic of debt relief scams is upfront fees, including fees to enter a repayment plan. Those types of fees are illegal. People are never required to pay for assistance with student loans.
We know that they're paying attention to what's happening in this market. That is an effective way they have found of, unfortunately, getting people to lose money. So they are paying attention to what President Biden is doing. They are paying attention to the talks in Congress. They are going to manipulate it to their advantage as best they can.
The Bureau says the best way to avoid debt scams is to do your homework and don't fall for promises of quick relief. If it's still good to be true, yeah. Today was the start of a hands-on summer camp to learn about robotics, hosted by Pitt State. Some of the topics covered in the camp include programming, construction techniques, and electromechanics. We sent KOAM photojournalist Sam Combrink there to check it all out.
Our kids work with a Lego robotics-based system, and from that they're able to build simple robots that will be able to drive forward, turn, follow a line, be able to pick things up, maybe even interact with their environment around them, finding walls turning, things like that.
Does anybody know why Lego uses all pictures and no words?
So new things that I learned today was how to build the car because it needed a lot of pieces, and I never even knew that you could build a car that actually works out of Legos. Like, I never even knew that.
Basically what this is we use a Lego-based robotics system to help kids learn the basics of how to build robots, how systems work, things like motors and gears, programming, but a lot of it has to do with applied problem solving and learning teamwork strategies.
Looks like fun. The camp is going to be capped off with a competition on Friday. Pitt State is hosting another camp this week called Construct Your Future. Folks in the Pittsburgh area gathered for some family fun. Life Track Church in Frontenac today hosted a picnic at Lakeside Park in Pittsburgh. Everyone was asked to bring a food item for the picnic. The event featured games like cornhole and a treasure hunt.
It's a different type of interaction. Sunday mornings is you're there to worship God and focus on that relationship, and then this is a lot different types of relationship focus, so just getting to have different kinds of conversations and just build those relationships that are so important for a healthy church and also a healthy community.
This is the second picnic hosted by Life Track Church. Gabby Butler is a two-time world champion cheerleader. She's been featured on Netflix, Nightline, and YouTube. That's a pretty impressive resume, right? Now Butler is adding mentor to her list of accomplishments. She visited SWX Athletics in Webb City today to show the next generation a thing or two. KOAM photojournalist Ty Parks was there.
1, 2, 3, snap, 5, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 5.
We've had the opportunity for many years to bring Gabby and other world champion athletes to our gym. We are fortunate enough, one of our coaches is of that capacity, of that level, and we felt with having someone in-house that is of that level, bringing one of her friends in to see kind of what they've trained.
4, 5, touch 6, 7, up 8. Everybody practice that, go. The main thing that I look for is hard work. If you have a kid that's driven, there's nothing they can't do. Like, I will take hard work over natural talent any day because at the end of the day, hard work will always beat talent. That's what I've always said, and that's something that I think is so true. Go, 5, 7, 1, 2, 3.
Well, first I did dance, and then I saw people lifting people up, so I was like, oh, why? I know how to do dance, so why can't I just do cheer? Just gets my emotions out when I'm sad and having a bad day.
We try to make it all about the kids, but I really just want them to take away like the good moments in cheerleading and also just having fun and like realizing like what cheer is actually about, like the positivity, all the, good things that can come out of it. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Today's event was a fundraiser for SWX Athletics. Different tiered prizes were awarded to those who raised the most funds. Those included private meeting and lesson with Gabby. Well, the Federal Reserve gave a preview of its assessment of the U.S. economy ahead of a semi-annual testimony on Capitol Hill this week. The central bank says vaccination progress has helped to reopen the economy, but lingering effects of the pandemic continue to weigh on growth, with employment still lagging pre-pandemic levels. The Fed reiterated a previous pledge to keep interest rates ultra low until the labor market improves. Questions still remain on the moments leading up to the assassination of Haiti's president. Fox News correspondent David Lee Miller has more from New York.
The investigation into the death of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse is ramping up. Police in the nation confirming they have already arrested more than 28 foreign mercenaries who they believe organized the assassination of Moïse. Interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph is hopeful everyone involved will be brought to justice.
Parce que un président
The investigation is our main concern because a president cannot die under these conditions, which we know he has been tortured, humiliated in a tragic way.
Meanwhile, the White House has turned down calls from Haitian officials to send troops to assist in stabilizing the nation following Moise's death. On Monday, the Biden team was briefed on the situation and vowed to protect the people of Haiti and the interests of the embattled nation.
The safety and security of the people of Haiti is of great interest to the president and to the administration. This is just the beginning of our conversations, and we will remain in close touch with law enforcement, with individuals in Haiti, with a range of leaders in Haiti about how we can assist and provide assistance moving forward.
Over the weekend, Haitian Americans in South Florida gathered for a memorial ceremony for the late Haitian president. Florida is home to the largest percentage of Haitian Americans in the United States. Residents are calling his death tragic, while some are still in disbelief over the death of Moise.
He was a supportive person. When I founded my first social initiative, he was one of the biggest supporters I had. We have to restore the democracy in our country.
A United States delegation is currently in Haiti, meeting with a number of top officials to discuss the ongoing investigation and the country's security. In New York, David Lee Miller, Fox News.
A bit later, one possible solution to a shortage in the tech industry.
Amid the global chip shortage, a push to bring chip manufacturing back to the United States. I'm Grady Trimble with Fox Business in Michigan. Coming up, how this lab could be part of the solution.
Well, it turned out to be a good Monday for us today after the showers and thunderstorms over the weekend. Cold front came through, so temperature is quite a bit cooler for us today. Most of the rain out of here, just 1/100th of an inch of rain with some scattered showers popping up for us today. Look at the month, though. So far, we're almost halfway through. Majority of the days, 11, have been below normal. Now, it hasn't been cool. It's been hot, except the past couple days. We've only had high temps into the 70s. Right now it looks pretty good. It's comfortable outside. 69, Nevada 70 in Stockton, Bella Vista 69, Grove at 70, Neodesha at 72, Yates Center at 71. Humidity's not that bad. These are dew points measuring the amount of moisture out there. And our dew points are sitting about 65-ish, kind of sticky. It's not awful. Currently, 7th and Rangeline, we have partly cloudy skies, 71. Winds are on the calm side, pressure is steady, and not much is going on for us around the entire four-state area. Any showers, any thunderstorms staying off to our east or across central parts of Missouri and eastern Missouri, and these are going to continue to rotate through. You can see the back edge of the clouds kind of rotating through over the past couple hours, so we are going to clear out as this whole system, slow-moving, little upper-level wave finally rotates east. And if we look out west, there's no big storm systems. We are eventually going to get a wave that kind of rotates in and kind of sits on us for several days, giving us chances for showers and thunderstorms. But besides that, not a whole bunch going on. It's summer. For us tonight, we drop back lower 60s. The winds are going to switch out of the south, and that's going to help us warm up a little bit more tomorrow. It is going to be significantly warmer tomorrow, just due to really the drier air mass. It's not going to be super humid, so our temperatures are going to warm up pretty quick. So we're going to go through the 60s, 70s, 82 by noon, high temp right around 84 during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, still pretty much clear skies. We'll drop back down near 70, so here's Wednesday morning. Let's go through the day on Wednesday. Gets hotter, and also the humidity returns as we go back into lower 90s for highs. So let's look at that heat index. A little bit higher tomorrow. It's going to feel like lower 90s. It's going to feel like July, but it's really going to feel like July by the time Wednesday rolls around, as our heat indices mid to upper 90s to near 100 degrees by the time we head into Wednesday afternoon. All right, let's go through the rest of the week. Chances for showers and thunderstorms start to increase. By Thursday, we get a front end that just kind of hangs out. It's a very weak system, but it has enough upper level energy that we're going to get some pop-up showers and thunderstorms probably each and every day as we go through Thursday, Friday. We're looking at Saturday. Not a rain out by any means, but chances for showers and thunderstorms around heading into the weekend. 88 tomorrow, 92 on Wednesday, 91 on Thursday, and then temperatures hanging out near 90 heading into the weekend.
Like you said, the humidity right now
is okay.
Yeah.
So
just keep it right now.
Yeah.
Doug Heddy, thank you. Coming up in sports, Cardinals infielder Nolan Arenado returns to Denver for the MLB All-Star Game. Also, big opportunity ahead for Webb City Little League softball. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
The Joplin Outlaws picked up their first win of the second half last night, beating the Jeff City Renegades 6-4. Now, the Outlaws are now just one game under 500 on the summer, sitting at 12-13 overall. Now, Joplin remains at home tonight, meeting up with the Nevada Griffins. That game's still going, but the Outlaws trail at 4-0 in the top of the ninth. Missouri Southern's Chase Bider throws 6 shutout innings for Nevada, allowing just 4 hits. Webb City girls softball dominated Little League district tournaments last week. Now, that includes the 12 and under team, who claimed a district championship to punch their ticket to state. We caught up with the team tonight to talk about preparing to hit the road to DeSoto. The Webb City 12 and under softball team is heading to the state tournament.
I'm pretty nervous, but at the same time I'm more excited for having another opportunity. It's really exciting, and I'm glad that we get to keep playing this year. Our defense is strong and stuff, but also it's mostly our mental part of it and how positive we all stay.
Webb City claimed back-to-back district titles last week to punch their ticket to DeSoto. Last year, their season ended after districts due to COVID-19.
I really thought that we had a chance to go a long ways last year, and with the COVID hitting, all we got to do is play districts and win districts. So this year the girls have a chance to go up and go further and have a chance at state, and hopefully we can advance past state and see how far we can go.
Yeah, it's pretty cool being able to go to state this time and maybe even making it farther.
It was a dominant week for Webb City softball of all ages. The 12 and under team joins the 8-year-old, 10-year-old, and 16-year-old teams as district champs.
You got to take it yourself, take it yourself, take it yourself. It's a very sports-oriented town. The community backs them well. They care about their kids, and they buy into it, and they invest in them. We'll just show up there and try to do our best and adjust as we go.
Webb City's first game of the state tournament will be on Friday night at 8 p.m. in DeSoto. The 2021 MLB All-Star Game is tomorrow night in Denver. The Cardinals have 2 players in the game, in pitcher Alex Reyes and third baseman Nolan Arenado. Now, for Arenado, it's his 7th All-Star selection. And tomorrow night will be a pretty special night for the Cardinals infielder, returning to Coors Field in Denver, where he spent the first 8 years of his major league career.
It's come to my mind now. Obviously, being in batting practice now, we're going to see a lot of the fans. I got a lot of love for them, and they know that. I've said it a lot, and I always played hard for them, and that was my goal. But it's going to be cool. It's going to be great. I'm a little nervous about it again, but it'll be a lot of fun.
Finally, the Milwaukee Bucks have made it a series in the NBA Finals. The Bucks blew out the Suns Sunday night 120-100 behind a big night from Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis dropped 41 points, pulled down 13 rebounds, while also dishing out 6 assists. Now, Phoenix still leads the series, but the Bucks now have a chance to even it up at 2 games apiece on Wednesday night.
I feel like in the previous game 2, there was so much traffic. I was, able to make the corner pass to guys or make the right pass, guys, But now being at home, you have a little more confidence. Your legs feel a little bit better. You can finish some of those plays, but there's a lot of traffic in there. We got to keep, making the right play.
And that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after the break.
That ongoing chip shortage is impacting the availability of just about everything from cars to washing machines. Now some companies are working to develop chips right here in the U.S. to help. Fox Business Network's Grady Trimble has the story from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
The auto industry has been particularly hard hit by this chip shortage, so it's fitting that some of the solutions to the shortage could come from right here at the University of Michigan in this R&D lab. By the way, the state of Michigan leads the way in research and development and testing of computer chips here in the United States. What they're doing is they're working with electronics companies as well as the automakers themselves to help develop chips specifically for the uses that they need them for, and that'll help them use fewer chips in their products, thereby hopefully preventing a shortage. They're also working on ways to help the chip makers produce more chips more efficiently. Listen.
We make chips on wafers, kind of like you make pizzas and pizza pies, and so when we then slice that
wafer up into chips, we can get more chips out.
So you can make them faster and more in one batch, basically.
That's right. We will get more per batch, and so overall we can produce more of them in a certain amount of time.
The federal government is looking to invest billions of dollars into R&D of computer chips. The goal is to bring production of them back to the United States. State of Michigan also investing big on computer chips, and you can see why. Look at the numbers from 1990. The U.S., we were using, of course, a lot fewer chips back then, but the U.S. was responsible for more than a third of all chips produced all over the world. Now that number is right around 12%, and with the recent run on consumer electronics products, appliances, and vehicles, that has led to this global chip shortage. So hopefully the solution will come from this lab to help prevent future shortages. In Ann Arbor, Michigan, Grady Trimble, Fox Business.
By the way, if you're an Ohio State fan, go blue. Coming up, check out the entertainment heading your way this week on Fox. Ken Jeong on Crime Scene Kitchen, Nancy Silverton on MasterChef, and more. We have a look at the stars, guest stars, and all new series episodes coming up on the Fox TV lineup. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Hit competitions and celebrity guest stars. Here's what's hot on Fox.
You're done.
Monday, it's game on in Hell's Kitchen, and the remaining Young Guns contestants take on international cuisine.
I mean couples counseling.
Then on Housebroken, there's a wedding plan for Shell and Lindsay, with Raccoon organizing a bachelor party. And on Duncanville, the Harris family are joined by famous guest star voices, including Kyla Pratt and Rachel Dratch. Tuesday, Fox Sports presents the 2021 MLB All-Star Game.
Slowly incorporate it.
Wednesday, Nancy Silverton joins MasterChef legends as a guest judge, with the top 10 taking on a pasta challenge.
I just messed it up.
Then the dessert detective duos are back on Crime Scene Kitchen, along with guest star, the Masked Singer judge Ken Jeong.
A little on the cougar side.
Thursday, the Beat Shazam guessing game is all about family fun, with a grandma and granddaughter, brother and sister, and twin sisters competing.
Boss again, just checking in.
That's followed by a Lego Masters Encore, with builders creating mid-air structures. Friday, get in the ring with WWE Friday Night SmackDown. Then it's more Fox Sports with MLB Saturday and animated comedies on Sunday. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Going to leave you with elephants in China enjoying a dust bath. Yeah, be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.